is L-15, 155mm high explosive ammunition. You can hear the noise and in fact feel the shockwaves from the explosion of those rounds. That target is 4.5 kilometers away, 4,500 meters away.
Let's go back to the F-870s, front centre of the arena. And they're now ready. And they'll take on the far white area. Now the guns today are not manned by TA soldiers, but by soldiers from 14 Regiment, the 1st and 2 Corps Battery, and also students from the Gunnery Career Course. A one-year course held here at Lark Hill for senior rank potential instructors. Waiting. Watch the white area. Second round's away from the F8. Go, one gun in front of the others. Yeah, there they are, just right at the white target area. And all that ammunition was presented by the Belgian government to celebrate VE Day.
I'd remind you at this point that artillery is an area weapon. We would expect a full battery of these F-870 155mm guns to engage an area 200 meters in diameter. So you can see just how closely the fallen shot from those three guns is landing lines of fire lie parallel. That is, they are firing all on parallel bearings, and the rounds land on the ground in the same pattern as the guns deployed on the gun position.
Having fired the different caliber guns separately, you've seen their individual capabilities. So now, in the very outlining technical scenario, we will see how artillery is best employed.
The key to the best use of artillery is delivering the correct rate of fire using the most effective ammunition at the right time and in the right place in support of the commander's plan. Every available fire unit should be used to maximum effect during the first few seconds of each engagement. Guns must be switched quickly from target to target, and the maximum available weight of fire should always be used. In essence, what I'm saying is that do not penny packet artillery. There is little point in carefully rationing your resources when you should use the maximum available for the best effect. I want you now to imagine that you are the lead recce elements of an armoured battle group that is an armoured formation consisting of 2 squadrons of Challenger main battle tanks, 12 tanks in a squadron, and 2 companies of armoured infantry, a 100-man company mounted in the Warrior armoured fighting vehicle. Your mission is to advance northwest, destroying or capturing all enemy encounters. In your present position, you have reported to the commander you have made contact with an enemy force of approximately company strength in and around the far orange area. The battle group commander has decided on the following plan. He will conduct a frontal assault on the enemy position, advancing through a line of departure along the feature on which we're now sitting, through the Smarty line previously engaged by the AMFL, past the green tanks to your immediate front, on between the yellow and red tanks, and finally converging on his ultimate objective, that is the orange target area. Prior to the battle group commencing their advance, again from a line of departure on this feature, they will form up to our left rear. While this is happening, the gunners will start their own business, the fire plan. The fire plan in support of this operation. Any fire plan will combine the best use of all available assets, including close air support, attack helicopters, and mortars. Today, however, we have the resources which you currently see in the arena. The outline of the fire plan is to initially engage all the areas which might conceivably cause a threat to the operation. These are yellow, white, red, and objective orange. We'll be firing 2 batteries at each target area. This preparatory fire will take place before the battle group moves through its line of departure. As it does so, the guns will switch targets and put 4 batteries onto the 2 areas that the commander has highlighted as those of most concern in the early part of his assault. They are the white and the red target areas. Finally, as the assault nears the red area, all guns will be commanded to switch to the main.
Remember the first targets. Yellow, white, red, and the orange objective in the distance.
Out of this battle group position and put yourself in the position of the enemy. If you're in a trench, if you're lucky enough to be in a trench, you will be well down now and cowering. The devastating effect on morale of artillery cannot be understated.
Meanwhile, at the battle group, they're leaving their forming up point, shaking out into advanced formation, and are beginning to approach the line of departure. That is the feature on which we're sitting. And as they cross the line of departure, the guns will then switch onto their second targets, and that is the white and the red areas. Those 2 areas with which the commander has most concern. Remember, the preparatory phase could have gone on for some 30 minutes.
Now, what's happening behind us in the forming up point at the moment is that the battle group commander is putting his troops into their order of battle. He's divided his 2 squadrons of Challenger main battle tanks into fire support tanks, those tasked with actually supporting this assault from a flank using their main 120mm armaments. He's divided them into assault tanks, those tanks which will assault the objectives first, and the intimate support tanks who are charged with the task of accompanying the warrior armoured fighting vehicles onto the objective.
Another battle group is approaching the line of departure, and the forward elements are just about to cross, waiting for the artillery support.
1, HR, and away! Now what you Now, this fire plan, having been devised and set to timings, would not be left at that. A crucial role in any fire plan is played by the forward observer mounted in his warrior observation post vehicle that we saw at the very start of the firing demonstration. He will be placed in what is known as an anchor OP in overwatch for the whole of the assault. He is looking for any enemy in depth, anybody trying to muck about with this assault. The most vulnerable stage for any troops is after they've crossed the line of departure. The forward observer's other main task is to ensure that fire continues until the last possible minute. And ladies and gentlemen, I do mean the last possible minute. With 155 shells and troops in Challenger main battle tanks and warrior armoured fighting vehicles, we would not lift our fire until our own troops were within some 200 metres of the objective.
Meanwhile, our leading elements are closing up with the Smarty line on the left and pushing through the green area on the right. Following elements of Warrior are now crossing the line of departure. As this is happening, of course, the gunners are constantly putting down a steady rate of fire on the targets. And the forward elements are now going through the green area, picking up speed, and they are beginning to approach within 300 meters of the red area. They're beginning to motor now, and they're getting close to that last safe moment when the target must be lifted. And there go the guns now, concentrated on the left. From these 30-plus guns in the arena. What tremendous support you would be getting from the guns there if you were down inside your Challenger main battle tank. All you'll be able to see through your optics now is the dust and debris thrown up from the objective upon which you were assaulting. And the advance is going well. Leading elements are now beginning to get through the red area, and there is little, if any, resistance. And the commander is very confident that his plan is going to go through all the way. Taking you back to the scenario, remember I said that we had assault tanks, and these Challenger tanks are now approximately 500 meters from the objective. Ladies and gentlemen, the guns and gunners of today and tomorrow. That concludes our firing demonstration. You are very welcome now to go forward onto the gun line and meet the